Welcome back. All right, let's get really, we're starting to dive into the course now. So let's think about a time when you took a course and you had trouble paying attention or trouble understanding the material that was being presented to you. So we'll just take a few seconds here and just think about a course that when that happened to you. All right, so now maybe you thought of a course or sometimes you had trouble learning something, especially in a course. So let's go through a few things about it. Why was that happening? Was the goal not clear? Or maybe when you signed up for the course, the goal wasn't clear at the beginning and it turned out the course was different than what you thought it was going to be. Was there too much information coming at once? So you're being fed information too fast, maybe? Or they were just not broken down into the proper steps. Complex tasks were not broken down into simple steps to build those building blocks, like we talked about scaffolding or spoon feeding. Um, where there not anything where there not enough practice involved to create the rehearsal of those steps so that you can memorize them. Was it not logically presented? Did they, instead of being taught 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, five came first and you had a three, then one and two, and maybe they missed four altogether that section. And then sensory overload. I know you can't see that because the video's in the way, but also sensory overload. How much is going on in the area when they're trying to learn? Sensory overload could be just noises from outside the classroom, people talking in the classroom. It could also be just you have way too much information on one slide, and the person that's presenting is giving too much information as well. So throughout this course, we're going to be looking at incorporating Meyer's multimedia learning. We're going to look at some graphic design kind of thing from like we're talking about like the advertising industry, and we're going to look at UX design to create visually engaging learning experiences. So the UX design, just quickly, actually we should have done that in the terms and thing. It comes from like building websites, mobile phones, and that's where you usually hear it is with end user design. But also we got to look at end user design in all aspects, especially in learning. Sometimes the learner is the last person thought about, so we got to make sure that we build these simple courses for them to follow. Again, we need to build a learning journey of a bunch of learning experiences that make sense. Also, when we're talking about UX design, we also can look at it in other things like houses, businesses. How do they set up the doors? How is it easy to get into for me as a client or as a customer? Um, I remember there's a town up in northern Alberta that they bought all this outdoor fitness equipment, and it was really strange because they actually spread it across the whole town. So it made the equipment very hard to use. They wanted to promote fitness, but the problem is that when they put it all the way across the town at different areas, nobody was really using it. So again, end user design. So we'll just talk about the section. So by the end of the section, you'll be able to quickly identify motivation, how it affects learners, working memory, how it works, Richard Meyer's media learning design, and how to make new information just stick way better than normal. Okay, we're gonna get into it. How do we learn? One of the biggest things that helps um, students and learners learn is the key is motivation. What is it for me? When I take a course, I sign up for it. There's that problem solving pinch point. I sign up. The motivation is I need to fix something. If you're doing business training, it's a little different, right? Sometimes that employee person does not want to be in that classroom, does not want to learn new stuff because it's benefiting the company and not the employee. So when we are building education in a training sense, business training, we need to find ways to make that training really relative to the employee. So what is in it for them? How is it going to make their job easier? How is it going to be simpler? And we also should be building job aids and other things to help them do the new techniques you want them to do. Um, so we're going to talk a bit about motivation. So there are two types of motivation. The big ones are intrinsic and extrinsic. So when we get into intrinsic, basically we're looking at intrinsic. It means that you just want to take this course. You just want to do something you want without any external rewards. So everything's coming from inside of you. It's a motivation. It's not, like I guess like we're talking about. You just want to learn how it works. So we just simply enjoy an activity, see an opportunity to learn, explore, and then our potentials, and we just do it. It doesn't even matter how well we do in the course. Actually, we want to learn something new. Extrinsic is usually refers to the motivation that is surrounding us, that's outside of us. Those rewards are tangible rewards like money, grades, praise, fame, power, right? I'm going to take this course because it's going to make me smarter, or my boss will give me a promotion, puts me in a better place. The best one is the internal motivation. Usually that comes from self gratification when we're signing up for our own courses with our own interests we're pursuing. When you're in business training, that's a little different. Most of the training is extrinsic. Being a paramedic, I like to learn new stuff about paramedics, but when you bring me in on my day off, I've been working really hard on my days, and you want to teach me something new, I need to know, and you want me to change some type of maybe system thing that we're doing and maybe it's a new type of PCR you want me to learn, you better show me what's in it for me, is the biggest thing. We need to create motivation, and it's got to be at that level. And sometimes you might need a number of difference of different what's in it for me, because a number of people in the classroom will have different expectations. So that's a bit of quick thing on motivation. I got a couple field trip here for you, yeah, a couple websites to read about intrinsic motivation and extrinsic motivation. All right, we'll see you in the next one.